Sunni Muslim talking about the age of Aisha and the age of Rebecca. So they brought out the Christian team, which is DL and Study to Show and Ibn Haq, which is Danny D, as known as. They said, okay, look, Rebecca was going to fetch some water. They said 5 gallons of water, about 2 gallons of water. If she was 3, she could not. Yeah. I said, oh my God. Are you saying that a 9 years old cannot carry if a 3 cannot? How about a 9? Oh, so sure she could be 9. How about a 6? Should be 6. How about a 5? Or so she could be 5. If that is your criteria to see that she could be carrying 2 gallons of water, so are you saying that at any age that a girl could carry 2 gallons of water, that now we could take that age? That's what you're saying. That's how dumb that is. Now they went to age of Aisha. They said, after the battle, they said, their arguments before used to be like, look, she's playing with the dolls. She's playing with the dolls. So she's too young. Now they're demonstrating, they try to demonstrate that she was 18 using a hadith that said that at 15 she was still playing with the dolls. Oh my God. You destroyed your argument. I never heard of the hadith. I said, look at this. Now they're saying at 15 she's playing with the dolls. But they used to say, oh, she's got to be young because she's playing with the dolls. Now, she had to be 6 or 7 or 8 because she's playing with the dolls. But now, they're demonstrating that at 15, she is still playing with the dolls. So that playing with the dolls is not a criterion to say that she's young. You destroyed your argument against Aisha, and you destroyed your argument against Rebecca. Both. Do you even think when you talk? Now, my question to you is, since you're saying, oh, Rebecca was going to fetch some water, 2 gallons. How about you do the same reasoning? Say, hey, which one is of only 54 years old man that can wear a 9 or 6 years old girl clothes? Do that reasoning. Oh, she had to be tall. Oh, yeah, if she's going to fetch some water, she had to be that big. She had to be whatever. If I'm 54, I'm wearing some 6 years old girl clothes, maybe she's as tall as I am. Can a 6 years old girl be as tall as a 54 years old man? You see how I destroy you? You have no arguments. You zero to me. You niente. If I talk, you dead. Dead. Talk now.
All right, so he didn't say 2 gallons. I believe he said 20 gallons because she was feeding the water to camels, right? They take a lot of water. She also had a servant. She also gave consent. She's also referred to as a young woman, okay? Now, it's not our narrators that say that Aisha was 6 and that Muhammad consummated the marriage at 9. And that he wore her robe. He died when she was 18 years old, so we don't know what age he wore her robe at, not her shirt. He wasn't wearing a medium shirt. He was wearing her robe. So I don't know what age he started wearing her robe at. But he, it was at an age where he could only get revelation. He couldn't get it in any other women's garments than Aisha, so he wore all of his wives' clothes. So he was a cross-dresser. He wore eyeliner. He wore lipstick. So if you want to go into, not lipstick, I'm sorry, eyeliner. So if you want to go into these narrations and make a point for Muhammad, then we can go into those narrations and we could show that according to the book that he swore on, he should be killed because cross-dressers get killed according to the Torah. So, we could do that if you want. We could show by God's standards what Moses would do, would get him killed if he didn't have, and Christians don't cross-dress either, but we don't practice the law of Moses, right? We don't stone people for their crimes. So if you wanted to be under the law of Moses and you didn't want to be under the law of Christ, then Muhammad would deserve to be stoned for cross-dressing. So once again, we didn't make Aisha 6 or 9. That was your scholars that made Aisha 6 or 9. Your Sharia law tells you that you can consummate a marriage at 9 without the father's permission because of Aisha. So your law, your jurisprudence is based around the number 9 in Islam, in real Islam. So it's not us, it's your narrators. We're just using your narrations against you. So, but we never use that against you because you're a Quran only. But since you wanted to wade into it, since you've been watching us, since you've been our biggest fans, and you wanted to concoct this silly argument and bring it, and accept the writings of your scholars, then look, we can do it. But I'm gonna make a mess of them, and I'm gonna make a mess of you for bringing it up. So you make a choice. You got to make a choice in this world. You got to make a choice. You want to be a Quran only, or do you want to accept that literature? Do you want to make this stupid argument and keep it going, or do you want to go to the topic of the world? Make a choice. Ultimate part.
I said what I had to say about this. You can respond to my arguments, of course. My argument is, if you're saying that Rebecca, if you're measuring whatever Rebecca was carrying, could not be carried by a 3-year-old girl, are you going to go to the step where a girl, whatever age, can carry that? That's what you're saying. If you're saying that whatever 20 pounds or whatever it is, if you're saying that a 3-year-old girl cannot carry it, you got to go to the age that a girl can carry it, so then that got to be his age, her age. So no matter what, it's going to be under 9. It's going to be under the age of Aisha. So now you're locked. Now you're blocked. Go under 9, you can do that. At 9 years, you can definitely do that at 9 years old. No problem. But now you're saying, oh, she's 3, she cannot do it. So if you go to the next step, maybe at 6, she could do it. So, okay, now, are you saying that Rebecca was 6? If this is your tools of measurement, you see how dumb that is? You got to think ahead. You don't think. You just let me talk. Let me land. I know it's harsh. I know it's very harsh. Hey, I know. I would have,
it is tough on you. I know. But go ahead and finish.
The second thing, I said I didn't say I believe in it. I said I use it. You use the Quran do you believe in the Quran? No. You believe it's fake book from Satan. You use it against Muslims. Or I can use the hadith that you using against you, or the hadith that the Sunni, I'm using the same hadith to whoop the Sunnis. I'm asking you to be rational. Be rational enough. If you saying that, oh, look, she was young, she was 6, she playing with dolls. Yeah. So then you brought that's a hadith. She's 15 playing with dolls. So then playing with dolls is not a criterion to say that somebody is too young. That should be your conclusion. So 15 is okay. You will say, no, she's not even 12. Now you're saying at 15, she's still playing with dolls. I never heard of that hadith. I heard it from Christians, from you guys. I said, listen to them. Do they even reflect?
I thought you was landing, man.
Oh, yeah, I thought you was landing too.
Then I will let you know that I landed. That's it. My third argument was, okay, now, another measurement. Since he's saying she had to be tall, she had to be big enough, she had to be this and that to be carrying 20 gallons of water. Oh, say the same. Aisha had to be tall, had to be big for Prophet Muhammad to be wearing her clothes. Do the same. You won't. You ain't responding to none of those. You're going to run like little donkeys. Keep running. I land.
All right. So the first, I just wanted to point out a couple of things because you guys keep bringing up Rebecca. Rebecca was called an alma, which means young woman in Hebrew. Yalda is how you say girl or little girl. That's never used The other problem that you guys have is, even if once again, if I were to give it to you that she was 3, it says in chapter 25 of Genesis that Isaac was 40 years old when he took as his wife Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel the Aramean. Then in verse 26 it says, after this his brother came out grasping, speaking of heel with his hand. This is her giving birth to the twins. So he was named Yaakov. Isaac was 60 born. 60 years old when his sons were born. So even if he were to have married her at 3, he stayed with her until years later. So it falls apart either way you slice it. But go ahead, Ultimate, or whoever was next.
Yeah. I wanted to hit him on some of the stuff that he said. We never said that she was playing with dolls at age 15 because we know Islam better than you. That would be worshiping graven images. Girls are only allowed to play with dolls until they reach puberty. Okay, and it was frowned upon for girls to play with dolls, period. But they let Aisha play with dolls allegedly until she reached puberty. But of course, Muhammad reached puberty, right? So that's why sex is allowed. Surah 65:4. You also didn't take account for the age that Muhammad died. Aisha was 18 years old. So she could have been Muhammad's size when she was 15 or 16 because he's described as a short, white, fat dwarf. You know what I'm saying? That's what the hadith describes him as, being short. You know what I'm saying? And he also had tiny Timism until Allah gave him some meat, some shawarma. Then he became, able to, have sex with women. But, so he was a tiny guy in all facets of the word tiny, according to the hadith. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you keep making up stuff. Well, you said that she was playing with dolls when she was 15. And then you make this argument. We never said that. That's what the Shiites say. The Shiites lie and say that he consummated the marriage with Aisha when she was 18. But yet, in their rulings, they could fondle toddlers, right? They can do what's called tying to babies. They can marry a baby, stick their penis between a baby's thighs, and they call that tying. And he can get himself off until the little girl is able to take the sex. So in Islam, it's not puberty, it's when you can take the sex. We don't have to depend on the lies that you tell about Rebecca, because in the New Testament it says that you are not to get married until the woman passes the flower of her youth. And that's in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. So we're good. We're good. We don't practice pedophilia. We're against pedophilia. You guys practice pedophilia, and you try to put it on the Christians and the Jews. And since we hold to the Torah, when you lie on the Torah, we're going to defend the Torah. See what I'm saying? But so that's the argument that we had. Your book acknowledges, and if you want to play with the scholars, we can go to Sahih Muslim 715F, where Muhammad is telling people, why didn't you marry the young girl? Why didn't you marry the young girls? So that you could do sport with them and they could do sport with you. And you could amuse with them and they could amuse with you. So little girls are considered amusement parks and Muslim Olympics according to Islam. According to Christianity, you need your arse whooped. So that's what I'll say.
All right. I'm sure Dinky was like, bro, Dinky, Dink. I'm ready to, to get me a bigger dessert. So the first argument was like, okay, Isaac married Rebecca when he was 40, but he has his first kid when he was 60. So he had sex with Rebecca when he was 20 years later. That's what his reasoning is. So he's confusing having sex and having kids, right? Right. So I guess he's thinking if he had sex with her at age 3, she was gonna have a baby. That's what you're thinking, DL? You think that if he could have sex with some woman that without the age of puberty, after they start seeing their cycles?
No, what I'm saying,
I'm just saying. Bro, I know that's
nowhere in the biblical text does it say he was 3 when he married her. But even if he did, he definitely had children. He had children with her when she was.
I was bad boy.
3 years.
I'm a bad boy.
But remember, the numbers don't line up. I'm just showing you the futility of your argument because nowhere we have that he was 40 when he married her and he was 60 when he had children with her. But we don't have any place in the Bible where it says she was 3.
Basically, you're telling me,
and if she was 3, then the Hebrew word yalda would have been used of her, as opposed to alma, which means young woman.
She couldn't do it anymore.
So
basically,
you level you lost, and in a practical sense, you lost.
Can I talk? That's my turn. I didn't cut you off. I muted up. So you said it. Everybody heard you. I'm sure Dink knowing me, he'd be like, God. Bro, don't say that. Ultimately destroy you with the kind of arguments. He knows me,
I'm waiting for the destruction.
The destruction is simple. You're telling me if I married a woman today and I go 5 years without having kids with her and have finally a kid, you're telling me that's the first time I'm having sexual intercourse with her. That's what he's saying.
What I'm saying.
That's how dumb you are.
What I'm saying is it wasn't too long. It wasn't too long ago that I watched a special about an African tribe where they have arranged marriages, and the girl will be young, like 4 or 5. She will marry, but she won't enter into her husband's house until she's like 18. So it'll be many years later when they actually come together in marriage. That's not what happened with Muhammad. Muhammad married a 6-year-old, and then 3 years later he had sex with her.
I love you, Dink. Dink, we're talking in private all the time, so you and what's his name? Is it LW whatever? I'm talking to you, the two of you. That's the two Christians I'm talking to all the time.
Go ahead.
I was just responding to Dink. What I'm saying is your argument is zero. You said, we heard you.
Yeah.
Since they got a baby at the age of 60, so Isaac did not have sex with her till 20 years before that. That's what he's saying.
He was 20 years old when he had children.
What sex had to do with that? Sex. Are you telling me that if he would have sex with them before the age of 12, they would have kids? No. Shut up, man. Let me talk.
No, I'm talking in a practical sense. I'm actually showing.
Practical sense. That's
what I'm saying is what I'm doing is I'm appealing to the text. When you say Rebecca was 3, you're not appealing.
That's insanical sense.
Don't make me take the belt off. Do not. You take the belt off. You better watch your step around.
I'm gonna tie you both.
Better watch your step around me.
I'm gonna tie you both.
Watch your step around me.
Now let me go.
Shut up here. You know what I do. You know what the belt game is like.
Steady. Now I'm going to you.
No running. Ain't gonna be no grabbing.
I'm ready for you now.
My arm don't get tired.
You next. I destroyed DL. Now you next. Dink, you ready? Dink. You ready? I need a smile, man. Come on, man. Throw me a smile, Dink. Yes. There you go. Now, you said, no. This is a Shia hadith that says you use the Shia hadith to prove that Aisha was 18. You used it. I use it? I said, I never heard of it. You taught me that hadith. By Allah, wallahi wa ta'ala, I never heard of that hadith. And in the hadith, you insisted, look, she's 15. You said she's still playing with the dolls. So I said, okay. So then abandon your argument. Now you know that at the age of 15, somebody can play with the dolls. Why did the playing with the dolls was the criteria to say that Aisha was too young to be married? I mean, isn't that logical? And just sensical? Is it rational? I mean, and that beautifully, I mean, if you can't make those kind of reasonings, how can you defend a religion? You're not even a human being if you're going to contest that. I'm not going to be debating you anymore if you try to insist on that. You can't insist. It'd be too low, man. You see, you can negate yourself. At one point, you're not a sapiens anymore. The sapiens had a limit of going down, bro. These are logical. Now you're saying, oh, Muhammad was too short. He was too this. Was he a midget? Even a midget. Let's say he was a midget. Have you ever seen a hadith that said he was a midget? Show me that he was a midget. If a 54 years old man is wearing a 6 years old girl clothes, well, we got a big problem. We got a big freaking problem. Try it. Let's go now. Let's go throughout the world. Try to do that. Can we do that? Let's go to the 7 continents as you've been taught in America. It's 5 continents, damn it. Yeah, you learn in America, it's 7 continents. Let's go to the 7 continents as you've been taught and see you can find a 50 years old man wearing a 5 or 6 years old girl clothes. Let's go. If that only can fit in the Krish because you're not looking for the truth, you're just looking to criticize. I showed you a hadith now. I said, okay, how about you use this hadith? The hadith that says Aisha was born during the time of Jahiliyyah, meaning before 610, because Prophet Muhammad was sent in the year 610. She was even promised, engaged to a man called Jubair ibn Mut'im. I gave you the name, I gave you the hadith. If she was born before 610, how could she be 6 or 9 in the year 623? Do the math. Only you were born before 610, you were even engaged to somebody else, and then your dad joined Islam, was the first Muslim, according to the hadith. And your dad asked your fiancé to join, he refused to join, then he broke the fiancé. Now, you're still 9. Only in the mind of a Christian who believes that God is a man. Only in your way. Hey, you can say whatever. I destroy you. Right. Dink. Another one. Take it.
Okay. So since you want to stay in your hadiths, right? Okay. We can go to your hadiths where it says that Allah is a beardless lad in a green uniform. So he's a little boy in a military school, basically. Allah is going to a military academy. He's not even a man yet. Okay. I can show you 3 different narrations, Sahih narrations, and Ikrimah, Ibn Abbas, and I can't think of the third person who is a giant as well. But Ibn Abbas is who you're supposed to take the Quran from. He narrated that Allah is a beardless lad in a green uniform. Okay. So now you're talking about Aisha again. We've never brought a hadith where she's 15 years old playing with dolls. We don't bring those hadiths. We bring Sunni hadiths. Okay, the Sunnis believe, and I'm going to tell you this one more time. Hopefully you can get this through your greasy little head. Sunnis believe that at the time you could play with dolls as a little girl until you reach puberty. Once you reach puberty, then it was haram because it's like you're playing with the image. So you're not supposed to deal with images as a grown person. And they would say that puberty would be the time that girls would stop playing with dolls. So the hadith, when she was 9 years old, she's playing on the swing with a doll, meaning that she hasn't reached puberty. When 3 or 4 ladies of Quraysh came and doused her in some perfume and threw her into the bed of Muhammad, and that was her first sexual incursion with Muhammad, according to the hadith. Now, Muhammad went on to live married to Aisha for 9 years. So when he died, she was 18 years old. He started wearing her robe. We don't know what age she was when eyeliner, and that he wore her robe according to Sahih Hadiths. So it's not our narrative, it's the Sunnis' narrative, right? And the Sunnis make up the bulk of Islam. Okay, you're just I don't know if you've I used to listen to rap, and there was this one line, right? And it was by Big Daddy Kane. He said, and this is what the Quran onlys remind me of. He said, "You're like a new jack coming in the area. Kind of reminds me of Eddie Murphy coming to America." So you guys are like the new jacks. You see what I'm saying? So you're attributing these hadiths to Christians. Christians didn't make these hadiths. These are the Sunnis who represent the Orthodox of Islam. You guys are the new jacks. You guys are the 20th century Abids that got away from Allah's racism, and you created your own religion because you can't stand the racism in the hadiths. You can't understand. You can't understand the bestiality in the hadiths as if it's not in the Quran. Then when we show you it's in your Quran, Surah 33:49 and Surah 65:4, then you want to run to what the Sunnis say. Well, she was grown. Rebecca. You see what I'm saying? So that's just your cope. But like I told you, in the New Testament, we have a standard, right? You cannot marry a woman unless she is past the flower of her youth, and her father has to give her away. So there's 2 checks in the process of getting married in Christianity. In Islam, a father can give away a daughter before she's 6 years old, and he can negotiate the consummation of the marriage as well. So that's Orthodox Islam. If you were to move to a Muslim country, if you were to move to Saudi Arabia, what would the age of consummation of marriage be? In all cases, it would be 9. It could happen before 9, but once the girl reaches 9, she's obligated to be willing to put out, or the man doesn't have to provide for her, because that's the age that Muhammad consummated the marriage, according to the Meccans in Saudi Arabia that control the religion. So I didn't make this up. They told us, and we're just following it. We're just accepting what they tell us and beating them like they stole something with the sickness that is in their writings. And we don't need the hadith. Let's just let this be clear. Let's just let this be clear. We don't need the hadith. We'll use them. We'll take them. But it's enough in that Quran for us to make a case. So, I mean, you have no hiding place. New Jack, Abi, left shoulder, you don't have a hiding place. All right, I'm done.
Okay. I didn't say you made it up. I didn't say that you created it. I know you're getting it from the Sunni books. You see, I didn't come to your Bible and say, oh no, I will say there is a contradiction. That's what I would have said. A rational person would have said, listen, this cannot be. Aisha cannot be born before the time of Jahiliyyah and then be 14 years later. 14 years after that. Unless now you are regressing on age. Now you can go to 14 years old, and then the next year, now you're 13. Then the next year is now you're 12, and then now you're 11. Then you're 10. Then you're 9. That's what you're doing. Don't use that. If you got a brain, use your brain. Use your senses. That's it. That's what I'm asking you to do. It's in their books. It's contradicting. Don't use both. Either you're going to say it's a contradiction, or you just use one. Forget that one, act like you never heard of it. And even that is cheating. It's not being truthful. Right? That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to do much. I know it's not from you. But is it from us that Rebecca was 3? No. It's from your scholars. It's not from us. But I still don't use it. I don't believe she was 3. I just use it to be sarcastic. I don't believe that. I don't believe Rebecca was 3. The same way I don't believe that Aisha was 9. That's it. But when you use it, I use it to be sarcastic. That's it. It's hey. And he said, hey, show me in the they used to say, show me in the Bible that Rebecca was 3. I said, show me in the Quran that Aisha was 3. Now let me read you now. The age of chapters 4, verse 6. You shall test the orphan girl if they reach the age of marriage. As soon as you find them mature enough, give them their property. Now, mature enough to give somebody their property. You're not going to tell me that a 9-year-old girl is mature enough. Let's say her dad died and left $1 million. Are you thinking that a 9-year-old girl is mature enough to be given her $9 million or $1 million back to take care of? Now think about that. Think about the age that a girl is mature enough to handle her business, her money. What age is it? How about you do that? So the Quran is giving you, putting the age of getting married and the age of having his money back together, at least to make you reflect. Could it be 6? No. 9? No. Even 12? No. 13? No. 14? No. At least you got to be at least 16, 18. At least you know that. Use the verse in the Quran. You're not going to use it because you're looking for the truth. Now you're talking about rapping. If I have to rap, I will be Eminem right here. I said, I'm sorry, Christians. I never mean to hurt you. I never mean to make you cry. But tonight, I owe you the absolute truth. Jesus Christ, he was never crucified. They were made to believe that they did. Pilate made them believe that they did. But his disciples knew. He went to the upper room. He check my hands and feet. You ain't gonna see no holes. And they checked it. They rejoice. What does it mean? They never saw holes. Hear me? Think. That's for you, brother.
All right, man. I thank you, man, for giving us that rendition, man. We didn't know that you could sing. I mean, I didn't know you could sing. I knew you had some, you know, some different left shoulder talents, but I didn't know that singing was one of them, man. So thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? You got all sorts of people.
Study.
Hey.
No, wallahi, I didn't mean to cut you off. Some guy just asked about the age of her playing with Dora at 15. They coded it. Yes, that's the truth. They coded the thing. Danny decoded it, and Study knows, and DL knows. Yes, they brought the hadith 2 days ago. The hadith is Sahih, it's in Bukhari, it's in Muslim, and she was playing with the dolls, and she was 15.
At age 15, at age 9.
15. After the battle of whatever the battle was, yes. Whatever battle you ask him, you ask the Sunni, when did this battle happen?
Here. Don't grab the belt. I'm gonna take care of you, man.
Yeah. So the Christian brought it. So yes, the hadith does exist. That's what I wanted to say. I forget to answer that. All right. Go ahead.
All right, man. So, you had a left shoulder, you know what I'm saying? She used to be my ace when she used to give me camel urine pancakes, but now, you know what I'm saying, she decided to pick a side, and side with the foolishness. So I put in the chat the ruling on child marriage according to the Mockins. What did the Mockins say? Like you Arabic. Stop trying to sneak in. Stop trying to sneak in. They call you an IB. You're trying to sneak in. All right, so here. I'm going to read. You brought up Surah 4:6, right? Which is talking about orphans and talking about their inheritance. That has nothing to do with having sex with a prepubescent girl. So now I'm going to read from the Islamic law, right? What the stipulation is for having sex with a young girl. Everybody pay attention. This is from Muqtasar Khalil, which is a major book in the Maliki legal school. It says, it is impossible to have sex with her. I'm sorry, no, it's possible to have sex with her, meaning there is no specific age. Every person is different, and it is not required for her to reach puberty because a man can receive full pleasure if the female can endure the sex. So it's all about the female being able to endure the sex. Now, what else does the Maliki school say about my Abidet sister in the audience? It says that black women don't have to wear hijabs because they're unattractive. So men wouldn't be attractive to them. So congratulations, Serenity. You can say 20 minutes a day. You don't have to iron your hijab. You don't have to wear a hijab. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you could wear whatever you want to wear. You can wear halter tops. You can wear whatever you want to wear because you're unattractive, according to the Maliki school. So that's your protection from the Maliki school. Okay. Do I need to go to all four of the schools? Okay. The Hanafi school says a minor who can't endure sex, meaning the husband is not obliged to provide for her, whether she is living in his home or not. Al-Shafi said that the husband is actually obliged to provide for her, since that providing for her is the price for owning her. So you own your wife. It's like how a man is obliged to provide for his slave girl. Some scholars say if the female minor is old enough to be sexually desirable and it's possible to have sex with her, except for intercourse, then the husband is obliged to provide for her. But if the female minor can endure sex, scholars have unanimously agreed that the husband is obliged to provide for her. Scholars have disagreed on determining the age when a minor can endure sex, with some saying it's 9. What is correct is that the age doesn't matter. What matters is the capability to endure sexual intercourse. A big fat female can endure intercourse even if she is of young age. So if you find a little, oh my goodness, I don't even want to say this. If you find a chunky kid, you can have sex with the kid because she's big enough to take it, according to this school. So this is the sickness. This is the sickness that is in Islam. These are the people that are trying to take you away from Jesus and put you under this foolishness. They want to tell you that the God of the universe sits by all of this foolishness. And, you know, for this person up here and for Jason, you know what I'm saying? Jason saw a Malcolm X movie and converted, you know what I'm saying? So he makes up his interpretations of the Quran. If you go to 65:4, it says, Lam Yahedna, Lam Yahedna, those who have never menstruated. So you can divorce a prepubescent girl that you have had sex with who has not menstruated yet. So the Quran explicitly says that you can have sex with little girls. And without this information, you wouldn't even have a stipulation on when to have sex with the girl. At least this says that when she can endure it, when she's chunky enough to endure it. But without this, you would be able to have sex with toddlers and divorce them, according to the Quran. So you are standing on worse ground than the Sunnis, even though you make these rooms and you fall up under these runaway half-brains and and you believe what they tell you. And when I say half-brains, the Islamic scholars and the Quran says that women have half the intelligence of men. So I don't believe that women are half brains. But if you want to be an Islamic woman, then I'm going to call you what your religion calls you. So the people running away and starting religions, trying to minimize Allah's perversion, are the runaway half brains and the runaway left shoulders.
All right. I thought you was gonna quote me some Quran when you denied that the age of marriage. Now you're talking about, I don't know, man. You're confusing marriage and sex and sexual intercourse and everything. We're talking marriage here. We're talking when Rebecca was married when Aisha was married. They were married here. Look how beautiful this verse is. This verse is so beautiful because Allah is supposing that they might reach the age of marriage without being mature enough. When they reach the age of marriage, first, you test them, meaning that normally, if they reach that age, they should be able to take care of their money, but they might not be. We got some people that are a little slow, we got all of those. We know that cannot handle money even at the age of 40. We know that, right? Look how beautiful it is. But Allah is telling us, what you learn from this verse is by Allah putting parallelism, the age of having your money back to handle it and the age of marriage, normally they go together. So anybody can handle their money correctly. If the daddy left them $1 million, they can handle it. They should be able to be married. One. Two, but they might not. They might not be able to handle their money, but they have reached that age. Not normally anybody should be able to handle it, but they test them though. Still test them. Just don't go with age. See? That's beautiful. Test them. Anybody gonna be tested. Ultimate truth might not be at the age of 50 to handle his money. Some people can't, right? Some other people handling their money. That's how beautiful this is. So you know it could not be young. You know it could not be 9. You know it could not be 10. You know it could not be 14 and 15. No, it had to be more than that. You know that. Now, when we calculate now, I got another hadith that Asma was 10 years older than her little sister Aisha. That Asma died at the age of 100 in the year 73 Hijrah. If she was 70, if she was at the year 73 Hijrah, and he died at the, if it was 100, what is 100 minus 73? 27, right? So 27, that was Hijrah. 100 minus 73 is 27. 27 at Hijrah. So Aisha was 17. 27 minus 10. If she's 10 years younger. Hijrah. Aisha got married the second year of Hijrah. So 27 plus 2 is 29 for her sister, or 17 plus 2 is 19 for Aisha. But let me teach you something about Arabs. You see, in your Bible, there's that parallelism. They said here he was 22, here he was 42. It's not a contradiction. Usman Farouk is using. No. If you reach some age, in my Fulani people, we do that. We said, hey, negotiate a car or a house. If I say 22, you know it's gonna be 22,000. It cannot be, it's 22 million. You know it already. Straight up in our local things. You don't have to be 22 million for 22 this. If you reach some age, if they say, hey, she's 9 meaning, oh, she's past this. You see how she said 19, tisata, ashara. You jump the teen. You just say 9, oh, she's 9, meaning that she has passed the, because at age 9, nobody thinking of marrying anybody. The same way, if somebody had to be a king or a thing, had to be at least that if they said that he's 22, she's 22 older than the age of being. That's why here they said he's 22, he is 42. It's not a contradiction. It goes the same. It depends on who is saying it, an older man or a younger man. An older man would say, if he's 42, oh, he's 22 now, he can be the king. He went well past it. A younger man will say, no, a younger man will say that. An older man will say he's 22. You see, the other one will say 42. The other one will say 22, but they're saying the same exact thing. I can talk to my mom, looking at her talk, and my brother sit here talk. My mom might be saying 22. My brother says 42. I know they're saying the same exact thing. That's how we talk. There's an age of reaching something. When you reach that, they don't take that. If you're gonna be a king at the age of 20, nobody not cares. If you're 22, they'll be like, hey, he's 2. He's 2 means he's 2 years old. No, he's 2 means he have passed the age of being a king of 2. Now he can be a king. He's 2 already. We talk like that. I don't see that as contradictions. Look how 22, 42, you see, it's always something. The 2 is coming back. I'm laughing at people doing that. You go to Morocco, you want to buy a lamb, they said it's 1,000. No, they said it's 600. It's 600, no. The lamb is a minimum of 1,000. If they said it's 600, it's 1,600. Straight up. Now you might meet a guy who want to be clear because you're a foreigner, you don't know, he will say 1,600. Another guy will say 600, but they're saying the same exact thing. You don't know the reality of the world, man. You don't travel the world. So those are the contradictions in your Bible. What I'm saying is simple, bro. I'm just asking you to not use something that does not sit in your head. For something for you to use something, an argument against a thing, it had to sit in your head. You cannot see 2 things contradicting and you want to use them both as you did. Please, that's all I'm asking you to do. That's not complicated. We can go somewhere else. I'm done with this. The age of Aisha, age of thing. It doesn't matter. What matters is happened. We will know what happened. One thing, a pedophile had, if you call somebody a pedophile, you cannot say, this guy is a pedophile. Ultimate truth is a pedophile. But all of his life, he married 13 times. Every woman he married was not a virgin, but one. Every single woman he married was a widowed woman with orphans. And you call him a pedophile because people have shoved in your brain that he married. Even if he would have married a 6 or 9 years old girl, he does not fit the definition of being a pedophile. Being a pedophile is to do it habitually. It's in your mind. That's what you do. Is that what he does? 13 times he got married. Only one of them was underage. Was under 20.
Underage. All right. So yeah, you admit it. So listen. What
Now
I will. Oh.
You call me a pedophile, you know it does not fit the definition of pedophile. You're torturing now. Read the definition of pedophile. Somebody who's leaning to be just having sex with children. That's his mind. Not just one girl and then the other one. No. Don't use the word. Don't torture the English and the French and the languages. We know what a pedophile is. You don't create the word. You don't say what the definition was. Don't use that word. If I see you using that, I said, look at that. 13 times the man get married. He was 25. He was 25.
You can't talk forever and think that the woman is not going to come. The woman is still going to come.
Give me 20 seconds. 20 seconds. He was 25 and married a 40. His first marriage. Oh, he's a pedophile. Okay, now they're saying his second marriage, after the woman died, he married a 9. Let's say it's a 9. Then he married the next one, 54 years old man, a woman, Sauda, older than her, than him. Then Hafsa, widowed woman, who was married. Then Zainab bint Huzaima, widowed woman with orphans. Then Hind bint Abi Umayyah, widowed woman with orphans. Then, come on, man, 13 times, and you call him a pedophile? Who you lying to? Yourself? Go ahead. Dinky, right? Dinky with a couple of E's at the end, not the Y at the end. Dinkee. That's how I call you, Dinky.
Oh, okay. So here, let me just run through the argument real quick. Okay, you know that he tried to divorce Sauda because she was old and big. And then Sauda gave up her night to Aisha, the kid. He didn't want a night with the other women. He wanted a night with the kid. He wanted the kid. You see what I'm saying? Then in Sahih Muslim 715F, he got mad at a Muslim. A Muslim married a widow. He said, Jabir, have you married? Jabir was like, yes. He said, who did you marry, Jabir? With the little girl or one who was previously married? Jabir said, I married somebody that was previously married. He said, Jabir, why did you marry the young girl so that you could do sport with her and she could do sport with you? And you could amuse with her and she could amuse with you. So the Muslim Olympics and the Muslim amusement park is little girls. That's Sahih Muslim 715F. So that is what Muhammad liked. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what he liked. That was his stilo. That's what he was feeling. You know what I'm saying? If we rolled up on a crowd of women and we all looked at them, me, you, DL, Jason, Ishmael, we would all be looking at the 20 plus, 30 plus. And then he would be talking, he'd be like, you see the girl in the red? The woman in the red? You're like, no, we don't see that woman. You don't see that little girl right there in the red? No, man, we ain't looking at her. That's who Muhammad is to us. That's who he is to us. He's outlier. He's somebody that doesn't identify with us. You see what I'm saying? That he goes against everything that's disgusting. So here, let me tell you, all you have to do to get us to stop using the argument is go and fix it. You claim that you're a Muslim. Go to Saudi Arabia, go to Iraq. Matter of fact, because I love my left shoulders, you don't go. You go and send James. Go get James. Because James is a Quran only. So go send him. Go send him to get them to set the record straight. Get them to change all the hadiths. To change it to the right age. Put the ultimate fart age in there. So that everybody knows. And then we can have an ultimate fart edition of the hadiths. And then we can't use that anymore. But you won't do that because you know what will happen to you. Well, let me tell you what will happen to you, just in case you don't know what will happen to you. Ishaq 144, it says, a rock was put on a slave's chest. When Abu Bakr complained, they said, you are the one who corrupted him, so save him from his plight. I will do it, said Abu Bakr. I have a black slave, tougher and stronger than Bilal, who was a heathen. I will exchange him, and the transaction was carried out. So I'm telling you to make James do it, because the punishment on you is going to be gruesome, because you're black. Okay? So they're going to they're going to give it to you like they think you live. That's what they're going to do. It's going to be excruciating if you go and try to correct them. So go and get James to try to do it. Jason, you light skinned, but you ain't light enough to pass on. You ain't going to be able to do it either. So it's got to be James. You know what I'm saying? And it can't be one of them half braids. It can't be Nazia or Platinum. You know what I'm saying? Because they're half brains. You see what I'm saying? So here, let me tell you what's going to happen when you do it. If you go through with it and you live after they test you and beat you and flog you, this is what they're going to say about you. This is Ishaq 243. I heard the apostle say, whoever wants to see Satan, they should look at Nabto. So you could just put your name in there. You should look at Ultimate Fart. He was a black man with long flowing hair, inflamed eyes, and dark ruddy cheeks. Allah sent down concerning him, to those who annoyed the prophet, there is a painful doom. So they would call you Satan after you tried to correct them. But if you can get it through, if you can find out a way to do it, if you can finagle, if you like how you finagle the scripture, if you can finagle it, if you can get a right shoulder to go in there and change all of the hadiths, and they do a new ultimate fart translation of the hadiths, and they say this is it, then we won't be able to use it. But you got to do that. Otherwise, I got to side with them. You see what I'm saying? Because they butter my bread. You don't send me no camel urine. They send me camel urine. The steel camel urine with the big blocks of ice. They offer me beads. I don't never take them because I love my left shoulders. But they're like, man, Ibn Debir, we'll send you some beads if you want some. Nah, man, y'all need to stop talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Before they send me people, they send me beard oil, all sorts of stuff. They send me a lot of henna to keep my red up because sometimes my beard goes around the corner, and when it comes back, somebody spray painted it black. Like they're jealous because it's red. They just spray painted it black. So I got henna, and you don't send me none of that. So I can't just throw all of that away. I can't throw away all those right shoulder privileges for you, man. I'm just not ready to do it. I'm not a abolitionist like that. I mean, I'm for the struggle, but I'm not for the struggle. You know what I'm saying? I'm halfway in. I'm not 10 toes down. I'm about 3.5 toes down. So
you're all over the place. But in front of you, you're really running away from the subject. Now, I'm asking you, I'm telling you.
Hopefully, here, let me finish. Why you
Go ahead, yeah. Take a minute to finish, man. Just don't go over a minute, please.
Why you interrupting me, man? But that's where I'm at. You're telling us that Aisha was not 6 or 9, but the Islamic scholars are telling us that she was 6 and 9. So the moral of the story is you have to get them to change it, because that's what they say about Islam, and they run Islam. Okay, you wouldn't have a Quran if it wasn't for them. You have no rights to any camel urine. You don't have any rights to Mecca. You can't even go and do Hajj. You can't open your mouth and do Hajj. If you open your mouth and talk, you're going to get flogged on the spot. On the spot. So, listen, that's where I'm at with it. If you don't like us using the age 6 and 9, then go and send one of these right shoulders to try to get it changed. Go pick James. It has to be a man. Don't pick a female. I gave you. Don't go yourself, and don't pick a female. Make sure that it's a right shoulder.
All right. So, unless you tell me, anywhere in the world, from Adam till now, that a 6 or 9 years old girl can take care of, if can be tested, if she's mature enough to take care of her inheritance, you have no case. I'm quoting a book, the Quran. Unless she can't handle her money, whatever age it is, go ahead, look it up. See at what age a girl can be tested to handle her money of inheritance. If it is 6, if 6 fits your brain, it does not fit my brain. It does not fit DL's brain, it does not fit Nabat's brain, it does not fit Patricia or Darcy or Starsky or Ishmael or Robin or Sant or D or NSC or Serenity or Jafar or Med or Babylon. None of the people over here, nowhere in the world, a girl of nobody believes that if the girl you can even try to test her, would you even try? Unless your name is study to show. Let's test that 9 years old girl, see if she can handle those. If Bill Gates would have died right now and have a 9 years old girl and left billions of dollars, let's test her, if she can handle the money. Would you hear that? No. Even the law said he got to be 18 to be able to, at 16 or something, she might be able to touch a little bit of it. Even the law is telling you, she's not mature enough. Now, if it fits your brain, go ahead, use it. But I'm quoting a verse, chapter 4, verse 6. There's nothing you can do about that. Whatever Arab says, I quoted you. I told you if you go to Morocco, you said you want to buy a lamb. I did. They say 600. One will say, a younger man will say 1600, straight up. But you talk to an older man, he says 600. You think it's 600. It's not 600 because the lamb is 1,000 more. The 600 means it's 1,600. That's it. A lamb is over 1,000. So 600 does not mean 600. 600 means 1,600. One might say 600, one might be 1,600, depending on who you're talking to. That's why I told you about whoever was 22 and 42 in your Bible. The one who says 42, that's the younger generation. They're just looking at the age. He's 42. But the older generation will say, no, he's 22, meaning what? He's 22 over the age of being a king. He passed 20 by 22 years old, by 22. I'm explaining to you. Even the 9 could mean 19. You see, I told you 19, right? After the calculations. Right? Right. I told you 16, right? Because the other girl was 10 years older than me. She died, go open it up. At what age Asma died? At the age of 73. When? Not at the age of 100. When? At 73 Hijrah. If 73 Hijrah, she was 100, what was she at Hijrah? 100 minus 73. is 27. If she's 27 and she's 10 years older than her sister, 27 minus 10 is 17. That was Hijrah. Aisha got married a year after Hijrah, the Hijrah, and then 2 years later, so it's 17 plus. You see, now it fits correctly. Whether you say 9 or 19, you have passed the age of 10, the teen, you've passed it, you can be married. There might be, oh, she's 6, meaning she's 16. Or she's 11. No, meaning she is 21. They say she's 11, they're saying that she's 21. Oh, you're too old, you're 11. You see? You're too old to be married. You're 11, meaning you're 21 years old. You want to go that. Now you're going to left shoulder. Okay. The hadith you quoted. The hadith quoted is not a bad hadith. Wallah. The hadith says, you shall obey to any ruler. He's being sarcastic to the racist Arabs. Even if he's an Ethiopian thing with a raisin head. That's sarcasm. If you read the hadith carefully, that's sarcasm. The Prophet is being sarcastic to the racist people. He's telling them, you gotta obey the ruler no matter what. It says, it's Bukhari, I think 7142. It's worded this way: you shall listen and obey to your ruler, even if he was an Ethiopian slave whose head looks like a raisin head. Is that bad? No. You gotta obey him though.
The English translation is Ishmael, even if it's Ishmael. Go ahead.
All I'm saying, that's in English, even if he had a raisin head. Meaning that, should you disobey him? Did he say, oh, if you see an ugly black guy with a don't obey him. You gotta obey, you gotta listen and obey to him. That's honor. That's what hadith says. Don't use it hadith, those are against you, brother. The Prophet is telling you, no matter what the ruler is, you gotta obey him. That's all you're learning from that. He's not belittling any race. He's telling him, be it, whatever. You gotta obey him though. You gotta listen to him though. That's what matters in this hadith. Not the race and head, not the thing. He's being sarcastic to the racist people. That's what you talk to racist people, how you talk to them. Okay. That's it. Now, I wanted to move on, bro. You see, you have no argument.
Well, let me just respond because you went first.
Go ahead.
And
go ahead.
You know, I'll keep it short. So the left shoulder hadith, you don't know it. It's al-Tirmidhi 38. And it says that when Allah, when he created Adam, he created offspring from his right shoulder that was white like ants. And then he created offspring from his left shoulder that was black like charcoal. So the offspring from the right shoulder, he said, off to paradise, and I do not mind. Then he said to the offspring from the left shoulder, they are for hell, and I do not care. So you guys were made for hell. The left shoulders are made for hell. So I always want to point out to you, you know, that your left shoulder in Islam, that's what the left shoulder hadith is. But the one thing that, you know, that you've done the last two times is you've conflated terminology, and you've conflated what things are about. So I'm going to give you an instance, right? Like if you were to go out 200 years from now and say, in the United States, the age of marriage was 21 because you could not drink alcohol until you were 21, so you couldn't have sex until you were 21. You would be wrong because the law is you cannot consume alcohol until you're 21. But the age of consent depends on the state that you're in. So it could be 16, 17, or 18, depending on the state that you're in. So what you're doing is you're taking an inheritance law that doesn't have a specific age, so you wouldn't even be able to argue it when you use Surah 4:6. And then you're conflating it as if you have a point, as if they're not two separate things. I just read you from the exegesis of the four schools that it's not when a girl is mature, it's when the girl can actually take the sex, because a man can enjoy the sex before the woman reaches puberty. So it's all about the man. The man owns the woman. In one of the schools it says he owns the woman. So you can have sex as soon as the girl can endure the sex. Okay? And that's why they have these pre-sexual things like the dying and stuff like that. I could also say, you know, since you came here and you were nice and you didn't manifest, I'm gonna give you a free book. This book is called The Heavenly Ornaments, right? That revolves around the Sharia law. And on page 49, it talks about whether you have to do ghusl if you have sex with a minor girl and you rip her insides and she bleeds. So I'm gonna give this to you, you know, as a freebie, just because you've been nice. And every time you come here and you're nice, you're gonna get a freebie from me. Just remind me that I promised you that I would give you a freebie, right? So let me pull this up, and I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to the audience. I don't know who would want this, but you know, if you're a Muslim, it's a must-have, right? Because you need to know your Sharia law. So here, I'll send it to you. Ultimate Fart, this is for me, man. This, because you've been cool. You get a free book. It's for all my left shoulders in the audience. Serenity. Go ahead, tune in to page 49 and 50.
All right. Thank you so much.
But,
study the show. I thought study the show means really studying deep.
Oh.
No. It's study. It's simple. I did not link.
So, hold on. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
I'm not
Go
done.
ahead.
So, listen. It's been my pleasure, brother, to do this again. But I'm going to hand you over to DL for the second topic. And I'm going to get ready to do my little exercise because I need to, do what I need to do. But it was my pleasure, brother.
It was mine too. It's shared pleasure. You see DL, I shut his mouth. I make him feel like now he's thinking, God damn, I should never talk to this ultimate man. Now watch. Listen.
Easy with the language.
I didn't say nothing bad, man. Come on, man. You want to eject me or something? Come on, Dale. I know you.
Hang on a second, Ultimate. In the back, you've been on stage for a good little minute. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Who? Me?
Yeah,
Talking to me?
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Go ahead, brother. Not bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had some questions earlier, but actually there was asked. I was trying to get some more understanding of his position.
You see, that's all you need to do. You just need to listen to ultimate truth, and you come. I will answer them without you asking.
You had me laughing a few times, but I don't agree with what you're saying. Or not everything. But yeah, I did gain a better understanding.
What is it that you don't agree with him?
No, you don't have to say that. That's his business, man. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We're having a discussion.
No.
All right, well,
if he wanted to say it, he would have said it. He don't want to say it. Leave it with him.
Go ahead, man.
I don't want to say it. I just know y'all was coming to an end of the conversation. I ain't know if I want to open it back up or not, but
Okay, let me maybe say something. Maybe it might help you a little more. I just need 2 minutes. That's it. You see, to respond to study to show, Allah did not put the age of drinking alcohol or the age of doing this. No, He put the age of marriage and the age of handling your business, your money together. When the girl reaches the age of marriage, test her before giving her money. If she can handle her money of inheritance, because she was an orphan girl. Her daddy died. She's here. She growing up. Now she want to be married. God said, okay, now she's of reached the age of marriage. Now test her. That's as the age of marriage and the brain of handling the money might not be the same. It could be. That's why Allah said, test her. If she passed the test, give her money. If she failed the test, don't give her the money. Wait. She might never pass the test forever in her life because she's slow or something. We're going to have to handle her business for her. But soon as now we know she can handle her money. Hey, if I give $1,000, you go buy your parrot. What do you buy? Oh, I'm going to buy me a big balloon. What? You're mature enough. Yes, sit down. That's what I'm saying. You got to test her. So, Now, look, he went to the hadith talking about left shoulders and right shoulders. Now, that's what I'm saying. I want a Christian to be consequent with their ideas. Then they go to the Quran. They said, okay, on that day, some face will be blackened and some face will be whitened. I know it doesn't mean that, but I'm going to use that against them. I know some face will be brightened and some face will be darkened. But they say blackened. Hold on. Yeah. Now they're using that. So now it's not bad then to be black, because a black man cannot be blackened. A black man can only be whitened, right? Right. So a white man cannot be whitened. A white man can only be blackened. So basically they're saying there's a contradiction, or they're saying that since we're on the day of resurrection now, everybody going in the heaven gotta be blackened. So no, gotta be whitened. And we can only whiten the black. So the black man that you guys we said are from the left shoulder are gonna be going to heaven. So the white man that came from the right hand is going to be blackened, because you can blacken the black, right? You cannot whiten the white. You see how it goes against you? Because you're going over and beyond the limits. If you would have put that to Quran at his limit, when he said white, brightened and darkened, he uses bright and, a bright face because they're happy, or a dark face because you're not happy, you're mad. If you would have stopped there, you would have been okay. But your sarcasm, but your lies is taking you where now you're contradicting yourself now. Now it can't be, because you can only blacken a white, you can only whiten a black. So at the end of the day, so since we're in the day of resurrection, the black man is going to heaven because he's going to be whitened. And the white man is going to be to hell because he's going to be blackened. That's what he's saying, finally. So then it's not bad to be from the left shoulder. So change your title from a left shoulder to the right shoulder. You hear me? And we're not from the right shoulder. So you're talking to the white man, you're going to go to hell. So you to show, learn today. You got to learn today.
Yeah, that reasoning isn't sound to me, but you did make me laugh.
Salamun alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's what we do. Islam is absolute truth. Yeah, this part 1. Inshallah, we are with Danny D. Ibn Haqq. Peace be upon all of you. Salam.
في طريق الحق يا جند الله، سائر في طريق الحق يا جند الله، جند الله، جند الله، جند الله. ولا بد يوما سيرجع الأقصى ليحيى الفداء بطول المدى، ولا بد يوما سيرجع الأقصى ليحيى الفداء بطول المدى. لجنات ربي سار الشهيد عن دربه دوما أبد لا نحيد، لجنات ربي
Peace.
الشهيد عن دربه دوما أبد لا نحيد.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.